Hi everyone, I just have some very quick things to cover. If you want to skip over this, go ahead. But the stuff I have to say is really important, so please bear with me. Okay, so I know you may not be asking for it, but I know a small number of people want day 2 of the Quartz Group auction. Is it ever coming out? Short answer, no. Long answer, maybe. To be honest, day 1 was super exhausting to do. I don't know if I have the energy to do day 2. Also, my summer courses started maybe 1 or 2 months ago, so I've been super busy. Also, I messed up the bitrate settings, so even if I do upload it, it'll look like garbage. I'm sorry. I also missed the Zodiac auction and that aircraft carrier event, unfortunately. That looked super fun, but I was too busy for that as well. Whoops. Also, last thing, I want to give a huge thanks to the Mine and Abyss community for their support on my other 2 videos. I planned to promote the auction video and kinda just left the frog video to be discovered naturally. So it was a pleasant surprise that people ended up watching it themselves, so big thanks for that, gang. And that's all. Wait a minute. What's that? Oh shit. Oh, is this where I get banned? Dude, oh no. What the? Oh, what the heck is this? Oh, look, shit, it's over. Hey, I don't like what this is insinuating. What do you think, I'm a coward? I've been busy, what the heck? Scared? You think I'm scared of my buckets being taken? Ben already did that to me twice. Yeah, I saw that comment, but I was too busy to do anything at the time, so cut me some slack, dude. Like, when I first saw that comment, it was, oh shit, the official Mine and Abyss channel responded. Oh shit, the official Mine and Abyss account responded. Okay, whatever. Anyway, that's it. See you in 2 weeks. What do you see when you look at this? Do you see Reg and Fopetix? Well, good, because that means you have eyes. How about this? I actually don't know who this is, you'd have to help me. Well, for many players of Mine and Abyss, what they see is this. This is all map art that has been built in Mine and Abyss. Hello everyone, it's your boy Arugula, and I'm in the wonderful MIA Map Art Museum. The person in charge of the project is Azurio with 4 layers, also playing a role in the build process, and a collection of map arts. Special mention should also be made for Fopetix, ZeWarrior, LameAntics, Shisouhan, Allurus, and Miyu for their contributions. This museum, in their words, serves as an archive to collect and display all map art that has been built on the server. And wow, does this place both look great and have a crazy huge collection. The map artists you'll see featured in this museum will be listed on the side. Yeah, the things people have built on this server is insane. I mean, second to just really amazing buildings, I think map art is one of the greatest forms of artistic expression on this server. Even if the original images aren't made by the builders themselves, I mean, just look at some of these ones. Imagine the time and effort that has gone into these. It's even harder to build map art on this server in particular because how annoying it is to get an open area and to obtain certain materials. Yeah, these people are absolutely insane. I'm glad people made this museum for all of them to be displayed. I didn't even know that half of these maps even existed. It's no wonder people love collecting and making these. It's just great to hold on to these pieces of art. And speaking of collecting map art, let me take you back to the year 2020. What a wonderful year, right? So it's just me and the bros descending the third layer, and on the wall we come across something amazing. We came across a wild suika. I honestly think we were just staring at it and discussing it for like 5 minutes there because we couldn't believe what we were looking at. I don't know for them, but for me, I actually had very little idea on the whole concept of map art and didn't really know how this was even made. And also, because you couldn't protect item frames at the time, we yoinked it. Okay, we didn't yoink it, we weren't jerks. We made copies of the map and left the original one on the wall. Now, this small incident kickstarted my obsession for collecting map arts, and nearing the reset, I maybe had half a shulker. I think there were way more on the map at the time, but I had half a shulker. Now, just a side note, back then it was fairly easy to build up a collection of map arts because you could kind of just break them and make a copy. But now you can't do that anymore since frames can be protected, and on top of that, even if you just intend to copy and not steal, even that now is kind of a moral grey area that might not be seen in a good light. This is because people now sell map arts, give them as special gifts, or even buy them at auction.
You don't have that much. Yo, you got...
Anyway, enough about the past. Right now, I want to talk about how you make map art. Now, if you're familiar with the creation of map art, you can just skip ahead. I'm just gonna give a really quick explanation of map art creation. So, back then, I'm not really sure if people actually built the maps because I remember hearing a while back that you were able to request map art to be printed out with commands. I may be wrong about that. Anyway, now, however, I know for sure that there are crazy people who actually build this stuff by hand. So, what is map art? I'm sure you know, when you right click on an empty map, a 16 by 16 chunk, top down image of the landscape is generated on the map. Map art is when you place and arrange blocks in a certain way so that it appears as a cool image on the generated map. Note that map makers don't just guess where to place the blocks, they plug in an image onto a map art creator and then plug into something like LameAntics. Now, there are two kinds of map art, a 2D map art and a 3D valley map art. 2D is basically just a map art that is built completely flat on the landscape, so this kind is very easy to build. A 3D map art is map art built with staircasing, with blocks on different Y levels from each other. This makes the build process way longer. Now, the reason why you would build in 3D is that the output on the map will be more accurate as 3D maps provide more range of color. For both maps, different blocks give different colors, some blocks give the same colors. In a 2D map art, you can only have this one shade of red, whereas in a 3D map art, you can have all this. In terms of size, basically, if you want a better image resolution, go bigger than just a 1x1 map. So maybe 2x2 or even 3x3. Take this map art for example, of Delicious in Dungeon. I can't really tell the size since there's no banana for scale, but I'm pretty sure it's 4x2. It'd be pretty hard to read this if it were 1x1. Also, it wouldn't fit, so there's that if you want a reason to make a map bigger. Anyway, I think that's all the basics. Now, why am I talking about how to make map art? Well, it's because I want to make my own map art. You see, I'm looking at all this cool shit everyone is making, and I want to make one myself. This is definitely a Mine in Abyss bucket list item, so I gotta do it. First things first, I gotta figure out what image I'm gonna build. So, here are my options. I could do something frog related. Nah, even if it'd be funny, it'd also be cringe to base my whole personality on some random event that just happened. Alright, 64 golden carrots, that'll be 8 Orth coins please. You know, they used to call me the Frog Master last reset. Just put my carrots in the bag, little bro. Okay, so next option is this. As much as I would love to, this image would probably take so long since it's definitely bigger than a 1x1 and it needs a 3D map for all the detail to shine through. So, no. Okay, I like this option, but as well as having the same problem as the last option, I don't think anyone is going to know what this is. Okay, this is good, but I feel like this would have to be at least a 2x2 map to capture all the detail. I'll leave this to someone else. Okay, we're getting there. I could see it, but let's try another one. Oh my god. Yes! This is it. This is the one. A nice, cool image. Little cool, little funny. Perfect balance. It's perfect. I'm picking this one. Final choice. Just a side note. I can't even credit where the original image came from. I got it from this Instagram account, but I'm pretty sure this isn't even the original poster. Like, even like reverse image searching, I couldn't even find like the cosplayer who did this. Now, when I was planning this, I did not want to make a 3D map because, you know, it takes a while, but there was no way I would be able to accurately make the image with less detail in a 2D map, so I had no choice. Go big or go home, I guess. Alright, so I used a site called Rebane Map Art Craft. I don't know if anyone is using any other site. I didn't ask anyone. Okay. That actually looks pretty good. I thought it'd be kind of low res. Oh, why the block's not showing? Oh, that's why. Oh, what the fuck? That looks... Yeah, let's do that instead. The dithering. Why is this... Do people do dithering or no? I feel like the no dithering is better because there's like weird less distortion. Like, why is there like so many weird colors in the other one? That one's not bad. I think the none is the best though. Maybe I should go the other one. I'll stick with none. I'll stick with no dithering. Yeah, I think having no dithering is way better. Cobwebs? I don't want fucking cobwebs. Jesus. Okay. I think this looks pretty... Oh, geez, a lot of settings here. Oh, no, that's gross. That's gross. Yeah, I think I gotta tweak this a little bit. Just a little bit. I think it'll look fine. Yeah, I actually went back later to tweak some small things like the brightness or contrast of the image. Since the original image itself is really pixelated, I needed to do a good amount of fixing. Like, what the fuck is this? I mean, it makes the original image funnier, but for my purposes, it is absolutely horrible. Also, a very important fix I had to do was block swapping. You see, where some blocks are easy to get in vanilla Minecraft, you gotta remember, we ain't in a regular Minecraft world. This is the abyss, baby, and some blocks are super annoying to obtain, even in vanilla as well. Some important swaps were cobwebs being changed to candles. Candles are annoying to get, but still better than cobwebs. Where possible, I swapped out dyed terracotta blocks with an alternative. Terracotta is really annoying to get since there's no dedicated villager for it. Also, I dug up all the L3 clay at Rico cracks. And another thing, my image is mostly white and grey, and my only options for a light grey are these. Iron blocks are a bitch to obtain, iron trapdoors are a bitch to obtain, iron pressure plates are a bitch to obtain, and brewing stands are also a bitch to obtain. In the end, I went with the plates, since those took the least amount of materials. After all that, I then plugged the schematic into my folder and loaded it up to test how it looked. Yeah, so, okay, the map looked a little funky and right in your face, but hey, it looks much better on a wall, which is where it's supposed to go, so whatever. Also, at the top of the mapper, there's this weird grey strip of cobblestone. I don't know how this was here, because when I was on the site, I couldn't see this at all. Since I already closed the page and all my settings were gone, I just stuck to my current schematic and hoped I would manually patch it up later. Okay, so the prep work of gathering materials. First, I got the list of everything I needed, and holy moly, 11,000. I then figured out the things that I was able to buy at Orth, and the things I was able to mine pretty easily. The things that concerned me the most was the terracotta and clay, candles, iron, and the cobblestone. Stuff like concrete powder was pretty simple to buy at Orth. There was no shortcut for the iron and cobblestone, that stuff would just have to be mined normally. For the candles, I could only buy the wax and have to farm the string myself. Terracotta and clay could be dug up in some places, but you can't for certain blocks. The only way to get it was to convert mud, which you can buy at Orth, into clay. I asked people if there was a way to re-dye stained terracotta to see if I could avoid all of that, and unfortunately I got the answers I expected and didn't want. Luckily, 4Layers offered me use of a clay converter at Siggy Drain, and I happily took that up. Thank you, 4Layers. Now, awkward detail, when I got there, I didn't know how the machine worked or even what I was looking at. 4Layers wasn't online when I got there, so I was kind of just standing there. I spent all this time getting down here and I wasn't going to leave with nothing, so I just settled with placing my mud manually and waiting around till I converted and dug all my clay. Next problem was the candles. So, you can buy wax and bone blocks for white dye. You can't buy string. So I'm just gonna have to farm for it. They freaking removed that one grassy field at L2, so I was kinda just running around the grassy parts for silk fangs. Halfway through the first shulker box, I asked if anyone had 2 shulkers of Kuon silk to throw at me. I asked for Kuon silk since I thought people would be more willing to give that. Unfortunately, begging did not work, so back to farming. On the second shulker box, I switched to farming Kuon since I thought their string drops were more efficient. You see, with Bane of Arthropods, you can kill them quite efficiently. A big Kuon can die and drop string, while the babies it spawns can also drop string. It's great. Also, this spot down at Starry City spawns a crap ton of Kuon, so after a day of farming, candle's done. Don't fucking patch this spot, I swear to God. The cobblestone and iron was straightforward. Find a place, mine a place. Just a side note, haste potions are amazing. I never really bothered making them on other occasions, but god damn they are amazing. Yeah, so after a few minutes, bam, done. Also, midway through building the map art, I had to mine more cobblestone because I had 39 stacks of cobblestone missing. I don't fucking know how that happened. The math wasn't mathing, I guess. I guess the plane took off at -4 kilometers an hour. Now, with all the blocks gathered up, I gotta figure out where to build the map. It's a little difficult to find an open area without a ceiling in the abyss. Also, areas like that are prone to high traffic as well, so I gotta pick carefully. People like Z dig out an entire chunk of the world for a map art area, which is absolutely insane. Someone built a map literally right below Orth, but I don't want to invoke the scorn of the server by doing that. I wanted to build in the upper layers, but it seemed like I was gonna have to dig up the terrain a lot. There was probably a good place, but I didn't want to spend too long finding it. I found this place that looked super open in L5, but the whole dang zone was claimed by someone. Now, I have nothing against someone claiming an area, but how you gotta claim an area and do nothing for 3 goddamn months of this whole area being claimed? I kind of entertained the idea of building the whole thing in one day and cleaning it up the next so it would look like I was never there, but that was unrealistic. But then I came across a half-decent spot. Following along the Western Railway from the Goblets, you'll end up here. An open lake, no ceiling, check. Open, check. Not much traffic, check. Now, this place wasn't perfect, but it was gonna do. I just needed to do some cleanup of the area before I could start placing down the blocks. Now, other than the fact that this place is an L4, so the curse is horrendous, I was building on top of water. Deep water, which will present some problems later. Alrighty, let's get building. I'ma be real here, I was really optimistic and thought I was gonna smash this out in one day. Those of you who have built map art are probably laughing at me, because you know how stupid that just sounded. Oh, and another thing, I would have loved to do full replay mod shots of the build process, but I barely recorded the build process at all, even in OBS, and here's why. Yeah, I was combat logging. Hey, listen, alright, if you've ever built anything in L4, you know the struggle. You kill one, and another will take its place. That's a full 20 to 30 seconds each orby. I ain't wasting my time. The second reason I didn't record anything was this. Oh my god, my storage! Where did it all go? What, did it go to the auction or so? That's where it went. So, yeah. This section is going to be kind of short. There's also probably going to be gaps and time skips and all that. So just be wary of that. Okay, anyway, day 1, June 30th. After a full day's work, I got 1 quarter. Fuck. You might think that's some good progress, which it is, but the pace is going to slow down a lot since I was on the easy part. there was one really tall part of the map art which transitioned into the next fucking section. Slight miscalculation on my part. I thought this was going to be ruining for the build, but if I place the blocks correctly from memory up there, it should look good from below, which it did. So nothing really eventful this day. I actually ended up asking Z how long it would take to make a single map art, and I seemed pretty worried here, but in retrospect, 8 hours is actually kind of short compared to how long it actually took me. Day 2. Saying day 2 is kind of misleading since I was actually working on this up to maybe 3 AM from the other day. I don't know, man. It's all it's all a blur at this point. Midway through, I actually told Z I was working on this and how much I hated it because, you know, misery enjoys company. And it was at this point that they asked me a very strange question from Lame. What are you using for your supports? Cobble. It's Jover 07. What? You're never going to be able to sell that map. We use leaves so it can be sickled quickly. Duh. Ow! Oh no! Well, shit. I don't know why I never considered this. This was just another layer of added difficulty to this entire thing. Oh my god. I was getting worried, but I thought I was going to be fine. But these comments certainly weren't helping my mental state. This day ended with me learning about my horrible mistake. Day 3. Nothing much here, just a little progress. Some great progress on the map. You can even see Freeren's face now. And another thing, yeah, looks like all my combat logging finally caught up to me. It spawned a cat. 2 cats. I don't know what this is. I think this has to do with when Orbeez, spew spikes at you. It probably explains why they're both named Meteor. Now, I couldn't kill them. I couldn't do anything with them. I don't remember if they prevented blocks from being placed where they were because of their hitboxes. But if they did, I was lucky that they didn't spawn anywhere the schematic blocks were. Day 5, yep, nothing happened here, great progress. Since this part is uneventful, I'ma yap about some shit. I mean, I've basically been doing that this whole video, right? So yeah, with the water, not only is it annoying to move around because I have to swim, I have to climb up to build, I get hit with the curse, if I fall down, I take damage and sink deep into the water, then I swim up, get cursed, climb up and get cursed again. Dude, never build this shit over water. Another funny detail, someone asked me if I was building this over Siggy Drain. Obviously, I wasn't. I was next to it. So yeah, I right below the drain, walk a few blocks and there I was. I didn't know this right until the end. Day 6, July 5th. We're basically on the home stretch right now. This is the last session we're gonna have until completion of the map. Yeah, I summarized the whole build process super quickly for you, but god dang, it took hours and hours. You should have been there.
God dang it. I hate this so much. Like, the middle part was easy breezy, but then I have to return back to staircasing at this last section. It's horrible.
Maybe not, it sucked. Also, crazy event, a wild K appeared. Yeah, even though I'm literally right next to one of the major railways, I never thought anyone would actually show up, let alone it being K. And then later that night, I placed in the last few sections and I finally finished the map.
And done. Yes. Oh my god, we finally got it. Jeez, man. Let's go take a screenshot at the very top. Bam and boom! Smoke, no Freerin. See, I knew it looked clean on a wall. I knew it looked better from far away. See, that's damn clean. Oh man, I told you to trust me. See, I told you it looked clean. Yeah, it looks weird here, but nah, just trust, bro. Trust.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bog you down with all the boring detail. Just know that it's good manners to clear out a map once you finish it. This actually did take me like 2 to 3 weeks, only because I was super busy, alright? If I wasn't super busy, I would have knocked this out in 2 to 3 days, okay? You know, when I finished the map, someone messaged me about the map. Did you use cobble support? Yes. I know I fucked up, okay? Now, the clearing process wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be based on everyone's reactions. Don't get me wrong, if I used leaves, it definitely would have been faster. But it wasn't hell with cobble, alright? It was fine. Also, because I'm on a lake, you know, I had to get ice to fill in all the holes I left in the water, you know. Also some minor terraforming, ran out of materials, kinda sloppy, and that's about it. So with everything all said and done, I gave goodbyes to Meteor and Meteor. I took one last look at the lake, which was my home for the better part of maybe, I don't know, 1 to 2 weeks. There was an Orby down there, good to see some things never change. And then I orthed myself, finally setting me free from map art hell. Oh fuck, I forgot, it's a fucking bonfire, what the fuck? Yeah, so making map art, no easy feat, especially on this freaking server, so I think it would be appropriate to give you some tips on how to make map art. Of course, I don't want to be the one giving tips, I'm just an amateur, so I want to bring in 2 people whom I know have done this thing a lot, Z and Fop. Great fellas and map artists, I'll be asking them some questions you might have. How many map art have you made?
7. 8 is in progress, will be done in 2 to 3 weeks. I've made 8 map arts. 6, 1 by 1, 1 by 2 valley, 1 6 by 3. Combined I've made 26 singular maps.
How long on average does it take to make a 3D valley map art? Assume 1 by 1, 5 colors.
Valley maps generally use more than 5 colors, but it takes anywhere from 10 to 18 hours to make one, average for me being around 14 hours. I take 5+ hours, but this is only a guess because I never looked at the time and only have made 2.
How long on average does it take to make a 2D map art? Assume 1 by 1, 5 colors.
2D maps can take me from 2 to 4 hours. If it doesn't have many colors, i.e. 5, it takes around 2. With concrete powder only, it's just 45 minutes to an hour. And with more block types, it's closer to 1 hour and 30 minutes. I know you said 5 colors, but regardless.
How long on average does it take to clear out a 3D map? Same conditions above.
On average, it takes me 6 to 8 hours to clear out a valley map, regardless of the colors used. Really depends on the amount of concrete in it, because that is removed easily, but all the blocks that are floating take long to break, especially pressure plates. But I would say 3 to 7 hours.
Preference. How do you decide which of the 2 options, 2D or 3D, to pick when building?
In terms of making the map look good, I prefer valley. However, if you want to make a map in a decent amount of time, I definitely prefer making a 2D map. 2D is my preference by far and looks good most of the time, especially with photos. You also are able to make way higher resolution images, which I prefer to the amount of more color you get with a valley. I only make valley if the images look considerably worse in 2D, which is the case for images with very little changes in color. Flat backgrounds, little noise. Through editing programs like Adobe Lightroom, you can avoid some of this, but doesn't always look good. Most images I don't like enough to make valley of them and invest 10+ hours, but if it would look very beautiful, I would do it.
Where do you build your map art?
I build my map arts in L2. I build it in my guild's Abyss Watchers map art area because it's very convenient.
Now, just elaborating on the map art area, remember when I mentioned Z digging out a whole chunk of the Abyss a bit ago? This is what I was on about. With an approximate size of a whopping 2.3 million blocks dug out in around early March, this took the efforts of all the people listed in the screenshots here about 2 weeks. Stats listed on the side. Some extra features include iceboat rails shown here, an automatic collection system for broken blocks designed by Wave of Waves, and a storage room for building the map arts. Now, that was the 3D Valley map art area. There was another area next to it for the building of 2D maps. The size of this area was 600,000 blocks. Wow. The majority of this area being dug out by Fopetix, some assistance was provided by Azurio, Z, and Kaz. Extra features include the ice roads, a full obsidian floor built by LameAntics, and an automated removal system built by Fopetix. Here is footage of the machine in action with stats on the side. Yeah, absolutely insane. Remember when I said map arts used to be printed out? Well, this is the opposite of that. What layer do you believe is the best to build on? The ideal layers to build a map art are L1 to 3. L1 is theoretically the best layer to build map arts in, however I believe building in L2 has its own perks. L1 and L3 are the easiest curses to deal with, although carving out an area in L3 is much harder than it is in L1 due to the concrete. Even though the poison ticks in L2 are annoying to deal with, I find it better than L1, since a large variety of mobs spawn, giving enough EXP to repair tools while clearing the maps, while also giving a consistent source of Earth coins. L1, because of its access to Earth and small amount of curse. This is, however, only the case when you already have a map art area, but there are luckily some out there already built and available to rent like ours. So you don't have to be like us and dig hundreds of thousands of blocks. For 2D maps, the way better spot is the top of L4. There is easy to break blocks and, most importantly, lots of exposed barrier block ceilings, so you only have to dig your area a few blocks high and don't have to mess with section transitions. For Valley, I would just dig in L1, but I don't think it's worth to dig one yourself if they're already out there. Are there any types of images, in terms of complexity or colors, do you tend to avoid when building, or do you just ignore all that and just pick whatever image you like? I tend to pick whatever image I like when making maps and tend to avoid suggestive source material, especially images that come from the leader of the nature district of Zodiac. I already talked a lot about this in my answer to 5, but to add a bit more, some images just don't look good, so you just can't realistically do them at a reasonable size. Anything looks good as an 8x8 valley. You can try editing it, but like I said, that doesn't always work. But I prefer easier to build ones that also look decent with less colors and in 2D, and for shitposts I just say fuck it and build them no matter how they look. What tool/website do you use to generate map art? I used the Rebane map art website to generate the art. Map art craft by Rebane 2001. It's just goated and the only one you need. What mod do you use to see the map art schematics? I use LameAntics to see the schematic. LameAntics is the most modern and feature-depth one. Are there certain blocks in MIA you swap out to avoid using? I try to use gold/iron pressure plates, concrete powder, sand, gravel, and slabs to save time on gathering resources. And I tend to avoid terracotta since it's really tedious to gather. Absolutely no water, and I dislike pressure plates, but a few is okay. Do you have any tips for anyone hoping to build map art? Make sure you have enough time to dedicate to material collection, building, and clearing if you're serious about making valley maps or map arts that are larger than a 1x1. Music podcasts or chatting with people tends to help offset the tedium of making the maps. Take breaks if you feel like the process is getting annoying. If you're making a new area, try to make it somewhere in the wall/somewhere that people can't see, as map art areas are a massive eyesore if made out in the open. Plus, people can steal your map if you're trying to make it a unique one. It may seem daunting, but can be very relaxing. You don't have to do everything in one go, take your time. Don't build in the abyss, it will annoy many people and you'll just make enemies. Just build in the walls. If you mine your area in the top of L4, it's easy and you'll get a full double chest of ore. What is your favourite map art you have made? The 6x3 Octopath Traveler 2 Valley map is my favourite map that I've made. Even if it took me 4 months to build, it looks amazing in game, and even if people don't realise how much effort went into it, it's an accomplishment I can hold on to for the rest of the reset. My second favourite map that I've made is the I Hate You map, since it's a funny shitpost. I absolutely love My Hope Left Me. It's just very clean and I like the image. I also like my 6x3 Suzeru, but the single pixels look ugly from a distance because it warps in a weird way. Finally, do you have a favourite map art someone else has made? The Fopetix H balloon map is a funny shitpost, but the Far's Fapata map and Lame's Tenba map are pretty good too. Obvious choice is Z's Big Valley, just based on the effort alone, and it just has the highest fidelity. However, the underdog choice is Kawa's 2x3 of a real painting depicting a desert. It was the first real map art this reset, and was also built in a 384 by 256 by 3 hole, which is also cool. It also still exists on the server, but I have to give it to Z. Oh yeah, your boy made it into the museum. Definitely striking that one off the list. I just want to give a big thank you to all map art builders on the server for bringing this art form to Mine and Abyss. Definitely one of my favorite little subcultures here. Your countless hours of hard work make the Abyss a much cooler place. Also, thank you to those who contributed to the creation of this here museum. Without you, this video would have been so much harder to make. You have really shown me how big the map art world is here. I only knew like 15 of these maps beforehand. So yeah, cheers to all of you Giga Chads. Man, I am never doing this shit again.
yeah, you don't have to watch this part, but you can if you want. I just want to thank you guys for watching up to this point. I appreciate you considering this video being worth the time. Thanks for that. And if you skip to the end, thank you for wanting to see the result as well. I also want to give thanks to the creators I mentioned before for the building of the museum. Super helpful. Also, huge thanks to Z and Fope for their help. Their input was so helpful for making the video. I was honestly surprised by how much information I received, which made me realize how much I fucked up. Like, I intended this video to mainly be about how I made my own map art, but then I realized if I was making a video about map art on this server, I should have definitely centered it around the server more. So in the end, like 15 minutes of the video is just me yapping about what I did, which was the intention of the video to begin with, but should it really have been? I don't know. I just realized my mistake when I was already like 3/4 through the video, which was when I interviewed Fope and Z, so unlucky, right? Anyway, you may have noticed, your boy got a better mic. Oh yeah, it's a little cheap, but it's good enough for now. I mean, let's hear the old one.
It was during December of last year, and
Jesus Christ, I really sounded like that? No fucking way you guys put up with the whole frog video sounding like that. But yeah, better video, not great, but better. There may have been some plosives as well. Plosives are those pop sounds and P sounds you may have heard during this video. I tried my best minimizing them in words like map or place. You might hear those pops in one side of your ear right now. I hope they weren't too annoying. Also, I think my editing has gotten a little better, but I think it'll eventually stop improving and just plateau somewhere pretty low. So yeah, if you ever notice my vids becoming boring or not entertaining or just not great to watch or whatever, tell me please, or hell, if you think that's already happened, I don't know, tell me now so I can stop doing something that no one even likes. And last thing, summer courses ended recently, so I've had time to make this video. Autumn courses are coming up for me, so no more vids for a long while. I'm sorry. Man, I haven't played normal, like real Minecraft in a while. Every time I hopped on the server, it was just to collect footage. Fuck. Anyway, have a good day. Yo, this wasn't here when I was collecting footage early. This is recent. Who the fuck wanted this? What the fuck? Say, Druid, I hear you like I'm young. What the fuck?